on a gray.
So this video is going to be just a little bit of something that's been irking my nerves with anybody out there. I'm the Unknown Reviewer, and I'd like to start by saying I have a GoFundMe. Please support my page, support my channel, help me raise some money to help take care of my family while I can do this. Any help would be appreciated. Any little bit would matter to me. I'd really appreciate any help from anybody out there. I hope these videos go viral and go out to the public so that I can get my voice heard out there. So let's get into this. Something that's been bugging the hell out of me for a long time, and it's this one YouTuber on here. I can't remember his name, and I really can't pronounce it anyways. But besides that fact, I'd like to state that any inclination that people are getting a sneak peek at or have a copy of anything related to a Grand Theft Auto 6, you're out of your goddamn mind. Honestly, I'm posting this video to get it out there for the people to understand and truly get that Grand Theft Auto 6 and all these little things that I'm going to have all over the video, right here, right here, right here, they're not products of Grand Theft Auto or the Rockstar company at all. These are someone who has taken their sweet time to go through Grand Theft Auto 5, take some snapshots, or even draw something themselves. Maybe they sent it into Grand Theft Auto or to Rockstar, and maybe they might consider using parts of it. However, when and if Rockstar has started a development for Grand Theft Auto 6, it's not going to be released for at least another year, two, maybe more. The new consoles, the new generation is going to be a more advanced system. They're going to want a platform that really gives them what they need, especially for the next title. And it may not be called Grand Theft Auto 6. If you guys know anything about the Grand Theft Auto series, it started out as Grand Theft Auto 1, or just Grand Theft Auto. Then it was Grand Theft Auto 1969. Haha. And then Grand Theft Auto 2. Bam, look. Do you think we have a series going on here? Sure we do. Because the next thing was Grand Theft Auto 3. They did quite well. Right here. Bam, we all loved Grand Theft Auto 3. It was the next step up from Grand Theft Auto 2. Which, hell, you know you gotta start somewhere. And when their platform was on the regular PlayStation, it was 1, 1969, and 2. Why? Because it was a helicopter view. If you started out on the first ones, you understand. It was a great system. It was a great time for Grand Theft Auto. But between 2 and 3, there was many years between those two. They had to come up with a new development for the new systems. The new systems were jumping ahead. And of course, they were limited to PlayStation. So the PlayStation platform was what they were working on. And the platform for Grand Theft Auto 3 was better graphics, better gameplay, better story. And they worked their asses off on it. I loved Grand Theft Auto 2, 1, and London 1969. When 3 came out, my mind was fucking blown. Bam! You know, you don't sit there and get attached to a game company or a game and expect the next one to suck more than the other one. There has been some cases, we won't say any names, where the sequel to the game was really not as good as the first. Fine. So, from Grand Theft Auto 3, went Grand Theft Auto Vice City. And then Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. You see, there wasn't a number there. See, they got us twice on that one. We expected a Grand Theft Auto 4 by San Andreas, but we didn't get it. And Grand Theft Auto Vice City, they had a lot more stuff you could do than Grand Theft Auto 3. But it was years in between the two. The same as Grand Theft Auto Vice City to Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. And why? Because San Andreas, they made the map much bigger. And it was still on PS2. Yeah. And PS2, you know, that map was amazing for PS2. The graphics were kind of downsized, and the things you could do were a little downsized, but the missions were long. And the story was a long one, and the map was huge. And 90% of us probably didn't play through the full storyline because it took forever. But San Andreas was the start of everything for us. It was the start of seeing something bigger and better in the Grand Theft Auto franchise. It was something great for us. So when we got Grand Theft Auto 4 finally on Xbox 360, we were amazed. We were happy. We were like, yeah, something great. And then we waited years and years. And, I expected them to come out with an in-between, like they did with Vice City and San Andreas in London 1969. But they didn't do that. They went straight to 5. If you consider that straight to 5, because they also had on the PSP a few releases like Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories, Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories, little games in between, which I played the hell out of, by the way, because I'm a huge Rockstar fan. I love Rockstar. Have since, well, not full Rockstar games, but Rockstar hasn't disappointed me. There's been a few companies out there that I thought that, were going to be great in the future, and they disappointed me with a title that they released. The story sucked. The gameplay was crappy. But it could have just been a new developing team, which is fine. We all got to start somewhere, right? They want to see what you're made of and see if they can release this game and, see how well it did. And if it does crappy, guess what? They're demolishing your segment. They're moving on to something else. They're going to move you to something else. So, with everybody sitting here worried about the next franchise of Grand Theft Auto 6, the development team right now could be doing that in their spare time, because the majority of the development team for Rockstar and Grand Theft Auto is spending their time on the updates and the DLCs for Grand Theft Auto Online. And I could say that they're losing money by doing it this way, but they're not. You know why? Because everybody's buying shark cards. Well, a good portion of everybody's buying shark cards. And that's the whole deal with this, is that they're making money on Grand Theft Auto Online. Why are they going to waste a bunch of time to release a title before the next gen console? They're not. The next gen console will be the future of what Grand Theft Auto is. It'll be the beginning of a new era for them. And I can't wait. I anticipate the next release of the next Grand Theft Auto. But I'm having a shit ton of fun on Grand Theft Auto Online. My friend Dark Angel and I, and Daddy Ace, and a couple of the other guys are spending a lot of time on GTA Online and having fun with it. So we're not going to sit there and anticipate when the next game's coming out. When it does come out, I'm going to be so happy to have the chance to play it. I love their storylines, and I've had a lot of friends in the past be like, "Oh, well, it's always the same thing. It's always the same kind of missions. It's always this. It's always that." No, it's not. The storyline on GTA has been fantastic for me. And the whole introduction to 3 different character stories in one game really took my eye off, what Grand Theft Auto was capable of. I didn't understand it, but the switching between characters was so easy, so fluent. The graphics were amazing. The storyline was good. I love Grand Theft Auto storylines. Each one has been different in its own way. A lot of the missions seem the same to people who have played a Grand Theft Auto in the past, but if you're not a Rockstar fan, you don't understand what it's like to play the next game in the franchise. I've spent hours upon hours of my life on Grand Theft Auto, even after I beat the game. And, a few of them, I worked my ass off to beat that 100% score. The hidden packages, the taxi cab missions, the ambulance missions, the police missions, everything that you do attributes to the final score of the game. How much percentage you have complete. And everybody was like, well, I just played through the story. Well, good for you, but there's so much more in Grand Theft Auto than people realize. It is a sandbox game in its own way. Yeah, you're set to a certain map, but every sandbox game has you set to a map. But you have that option not to follow the story. There's so much else to do. You don't have to worry about that. Grand Theft Auto has never disappointed me with a storyline. Rockstar has kept me involved personally in every aspect of the Grand Theft Auto series, and I can't be disappointed. I absolutely love the series, and I can't wait for Grand Theft Auto 6 to come out, or whatever they're going to call it. I can't wait. And I hope that Rockstar sees my video and hope to hell they understand that I'm going to sit here and defend them at every turn. This whole video is about Rockstar and how much that company has kept me a buyer of the Grand Theft Auto series. Now, some of these recent updates where they've lost soundtracks to Grand Theft Auto 4, I understand why they did it. But we haven't lost soundtracks to other Grand Theft Autos that we used to play. 1, London 1969, 2, Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. All those games still have our soundtracks. It's not because they can't update them, because guess what? There's a good percentage, 30-40% of people who have bought the game off the Xbox store or the PlayStation store and have it on their system, which means that they can throw an update out at any time to take away music that they've lost the licensing for. But they haven't. The only one they did it to was Grand Theft Auto 4, as far as I know. And I'm fine with that. I like Grand Theft Auto 4's story. It was different. An immigrant coming to the country and having to make his way through his past to get to a future. And then you had the extensions of Grand Theft Auto 4, which were Ballad of Gay Tony and Lost in the Damned. Which is, if anyone's ever watched Sons of Anarchy, basically Lost in the Damned, which, you can't really say because copyright laws and infringement and everything like that. It's life. It's part of it. And I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I hope you understand what it's taking for Grand Theft Auto to come up with the next title and the next episode of their long franchise that they've had. But thank you all for joining me. Please like my video, subscribe to my channel, and help me fund my GoFundMe. I'd really appreciate it, guys. Till next time, this has been The Unknown Reviewer. Have a good one.